So imagine this. You've got 3 TikTok accounts, but to TikTok, they look like 3 completely different people. Different device, different location, different identity. Now, here is the problem. TikTok bans people all the time, and most people don't realize how aggressive their system actually is. It's not just manual moderation, a lot of it is automated, constantly scanning behavior, content, and patterns in the background. Sometimes it's automated systems picking up something unusual, other times it's user reports, or maybe it just gets it completely wrong. And if TikTok thinks you are abusing multiple accounts, they don't just ban one, they literally wipe everything. Even worse, they can ban your IP, which basically means your entire connection is flagged, not just the account, your environment, and at that point, you can't even create a new account anymore from the same setup. And this is where things get scary, because a lot of people think, okay, I'll just make a new account. But yeah, that doesn't work. TikTok is way more advanced than that. It doesn't just look at your email, it looks at patterns, devices, and behavior. So in this video, I'm gonna break down how TikTok bans actually work, how the appeal process really goes, and most importantly, how you can protect your accounts properly so you don't end up in that situation to begin with. So with that being said, let's get into it. Make sure you watch until the end because I'll show you a full multi-account setup that actually makes sense and how you can get 2 GB of free proxies to test everything yourself with basically zero risk before committing to anything. Alright, first, let's understand why TikTok bans people in the first place. Because once you understand the reasons behind it, everything else starts making a lot more sense. The first one is community guideline violations. Things like violence, hate speech, explicit content, impersonation, all the obvious stuff. But here is what a lot of people don't realize. Some of these don't even give you warnings. You don't get strikes, you don't get a second chance. It just goes straight to an instant ban depending on the severity. Second is underage detection. If TikTok thinks you are under 13, you are immediately banned. No discussion, no warning. And the tricky part here is that it's all based on detection, not always confirmed data. So the only way back is proving they are wrong, and that process isn't always quick or easy. Third is mass reporting, and this one is actually crazy. People can report your content without needing proof. So imagine you post something sarcastic, something that clearly a joke to you, maybe even something trending or exaggerated on purpose. But a few people may misunderstand that, they report it, then more people jump in, sometimes just following what others are doing, and suddenly your account gets flagged. TikTok system sees a spike in reports and assumes something is wrong. Then it suspends you. And here is the worst part. By the time your appeal goes through and your account is restored, the trend is already dead. So even if you win the appeal, you've already lost the momentum, which for creators is a big deal. Fourth is spam and fake engagement. This is where people try to game the system, reposting the same content repeatedly, using bots, buying fake followers or engagement. TikTok is actually very good at detecting patterns like this. And once it flags your account as suspicious, it doesn't just affect one video, it affects your entire account trust score, which makes recovery very difficult. Fifth is copyright, using music or videos you don't own. And this one is simple. 3 strikes and your account is permanently gone. No negotiation, no recovery. 6 is multi-account abuse. TikTok allows multiple accounts, but that doesn't mean they are independent. That's a key misunderstanding. If TikTok detects that you are using them to boost engagement, manipulate views, or farm data in any way, they can IP ban everything at once. And this is where things can get dangerous. Because now, it's not just your account, it's your device, your connection, your entire setup. Everything becomes linked. And once that happens, creating new accounts becomes extremely difficult. And finally, number 7 is system mistakes. TikTok isn't perfect. Sometimes it just gets it wrong. Maybe context is missing, maybe something gets flagged incorrectly, maybe an automated system misinterrupts something. And in those cases, your only real defense is appealing fast and correctly. Now, this part is important because a lot of people don't even know the difference between being suspended and being banned. If your account is suspended, it's temporary. You can still log in and you can submit an appeal. Your content is hidden but not deleted yet. Instead, if your account is banned, it's permanent. And after the appeal window expires, your account is totally gone. And the deadlines depend on your region. In the US, you get about 23 days. In most other regions, around 113 days. And in the European Economic Area, or EEA, up to 180 days. If you miss that window, your account and all associated data are permanently deleted. Quick note, if you run ads, everything stops immediately. No new ads, no refunds during suspension. And if you try to create a new account during this period, TikTok can treat it as a ban evasion, which makes everything worse and harder to recover from. Now let's talk about appeals. If it's a personal account, you just open TikTok, tap appeal, and explain clearly what happened. Be direct, be specific, and don't overcomplicate it. And if possible, add the proof, screenshots, recordings, anything that support your case. If that doesn't work, you can use TikTok online form or try contacting them through X. Now, one important rule here is not to spam appeals. Submit one clear, solid appeal per issue, because multiple submissions can actually slow down the process instead of speeding it up. Here is a quick example. Someone changed their landing page after launching ads, which caused a mismatch between the ad and the destination page. TikTok flagged it and suspended the account. Instead of appealing properly, they created a new account. TikTok saw that as ban evasion, and the situation got worse instantly. Now, instead of all of that, one clean, well-explained appeal would have solved it much faster. So if you are currently suspended, pause the video and check your deadline before doing anything else. Now, there are also a lot of misconceptions about TikTok bans. The first one is, I got banned for no reason. Now, to be real, there is always a trigger. Even if the system misunderstood it, something caused that flag. Second is, I'll just create a new account. That doesn't work. TikTok tracks your device, your IP, and your behavior. So a new account from the same environment gets flagged almost instantly. Third is, a VPN fixes it. Not really. A VPN changes your IP, but your device fingerprint stays the same. So TikTok still sees the same user behind the connection. Fourth is, strikes are permanent. They actually reset after about 90 days as long as you don't get new ones. And fifth is, having multiple accounts keeps me safe. Well, not really. If they are linked, one ban can take them all down together. After a ban, TikTok checks everything. Your device, your IP, your phone number, your email, and even how you behave on the platform. So if you create a new account from the same setup, it gets flagged almost instantly. So the only real solution here is isolation. Each account needs to look like a completely separate user. That means different fingerprint, different IP, different identity with no overlap at all. There are different tools you can use for this actually. I would recommend to use GoLogin because it's simple and stable. But the same concept can apply to other tools as well. Before logging into anything, always check your fingerprint. You can use a site like iphay.com. You want everything to look clean, consistent, and natural with no obvious red flags. For your main account, you create a profile, add your proxy. For TikTok, mobile proxies usually work best because the platform is mobile first, so it looks more natural to their system. The downside is that they can be a bit more expensive, but for a few accounts, it's usually not a big issue. Anyway, after you choose the type of proxy, you can select the country. Once you do that, check the proxy and finally create the profile. Then hit the run to initiate it. And you can see that the state shows while it's running. things like time zone, location, and language automatically align with the proxy, which makes everything look consistent. If something looks off, you can regenerate the fingerprint or switch proxies. Then you repeat the same process for your second account. You can see this way we have a completely separated profile, completely separated proxy, no overlap at all. If you are running ads or a shop, this becomes even more important because now you are not just risking views, you are risking actual income, and always have a backup account ready. If your main gets hit, you are still active and don't lose everything at once. At the end, you should have 3 profiles, separate proxies, clean fingerprints, different emails and phone numbers, and saved sessions. To avoid bans in the first place, always follow the guidelines, don't use bots, use only licensed music, and enable two-factor authentication. Common mistakes are using TikTok built-in multi-account feature, creating new accounts after a ban, opening new ads account during an appeal, relying only on FBN, or missing your appeal deadline. And one honest thing, tools like this isolate your identity, but they don't protect bad content. If you break the rules, you can still get banned regardless of how clean your setup is. So to quickly recap, check your ban type, check your deadline, submit a proper appeal, isolate your accounts, and never overlap identities. If you want to try this setup yourself, check the link in the description or pinned comment of this video. You will get 40% off and 2 GB of a free proxies to test everything first before scaling. So at the end, I really hope that this video was helpful for you. If you have enjoyed it, drop a like, subscribe to TECHOSAUR, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.